Yo, what's up, guys? So, I'm in a new game that you may not have seen before. This game is really cool. This is an ARPG called Undecember, and I think the main reason people don't like it is gonna be the pay to win stuff. However, honestly, I think that it's not really that big a deal. Like, yeah, of course, bad, but to look at it as a game, the gameplay is fun. The build designing is very good. I love this system for the skills. I love this passive tree and your ascendancies. They're all very interesting and unique. Very cool game. And I kind of wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to go through a map. This is what some of the end game will look like. I'll show you a couple of the things that you can do near the end. And before we get into that, the game has 3 episodes and an epilogue. 5 acts per episode. 3 in the episode 3, which this one is kind of just as long as 1 and 2 were. And then the epilogue is 2 different areas with different endgame stuff to do. I don't exactly like that stuff, and I could see why people don't like this game for it. However, it's just a decent game overall. So one of the mapping types you can do are called world memories. They're like a map, but they have quests, and you can like juice it up like so. I'm just gonna go to 5. So then you start at the first memory and you go down. These gold ones are your main quest, and I recommend to just do them because you only get 4 attempts anyways. You know, you just want to enter. You can add time to your time limit and all this other stuff if you want. Turn on my auras and let's go. So this current build, sorry, I had to turn the game volume down a bit. This current build is a dagger throw build. The daggers chain, bounce off walls. When they hit stuff, it procs a skill called Toxic Flame, which I've made legendary rarity. It adds these extra 3 effects. So you can increase the rarity of your gems to give them more. And then you can also enchant them. I'm not sure what it's actually called. But I gave mine a parallel multi-shot enchantment, which gave it the circle spread. I just find it very cool. And it'll work really well with what I want this build to be. Which this build is going to end up shooting the daggers out in a circle as well. So it's just going to be like a projectile nova build. But yeah. Okay, sorry about the random pausing. I've been having to mess with my options just in case the stuff's too loud. So this is what one map type looks like. You kind of go through, do these objectives as you're completing the map. No loot drops during, so you can just run through and kill stuff. And if you guys want a build guide or whatever for this build, I can show you. It looks like I ran out of time trying to mess with my options, but that is one type of end game you can do. And that'll reward you with stuff that you'll need, like this at the end. These are upgrade materials for your skills. These change like colors, socket types, socket amount, whatever. And these upgrade your items, like your armor. and then gold you just sell for gold. So this is one type of endgame you could be doing. And then there's also bounties, which give friendship ranks and items based off the currency you get for doing the ranks. So I'm gonna pick one, and you do these in the Chaos Dungeon, which this is your main end game. You're just trying to rev this up to the max level and then run these. It's basically the same thing, but you do get loot from finishing these missions as well as killing monsters, so it's a bit different and more like the main game. And I'm gonna go through one just to show you guys. You can upgrade them with any of these materials that you want. It just costs these chaos points, which you earn per map. I like to do +2. These two in particular are really good for my build. Have the chance to drop things I want and whatnot. And as you can see, it's basically the same. They're gonna be a lot harder monsters though, so you really gotta be careful in this. There's my bounty monster. Alright, so we've now gotten the Abyssal Rift. You get that unlocked by killing monsters throughout the dungeon, then you open it and you do the boss fight. And every boss in this game is very good like that. The boss fights are very interesting. They seem more like MMO bosses or Ubers from PoE, so that's cool. And then there's also this endgame mode, which I don't have the key for, but it's another dungeon type where you can get stuff to socket your gear. You can upgrade the sockets by breaking down other gems you don't need, turning them into a type of currency that lets you upgrade the gems you do want. So each gem comes with 3 options to choose from, like this, and you pick one, you upgrade it to the max. As you can see, 0 out of 9 there. So I would put in 9 points. You might get 9, you might get a little less, but you know, you take what you get if you really want it, and then you socket it in a gear. And then there's also unique gems like this, which have very interesting different modifiers that regular gems can't get. I know that probably doesn't seem like all that interesting to you, it's just minion damage and whatnot, but believe me, it's better than what most gems get, so I like it. Those memories give you these Zodiac stones, the memory end game that I showed you. And you socket those into the passive tree here, like so. So that's another really cool feature about this game. There's just a lot of stuff to do. There's a ton of content, and I'm level 91 with still so many more things to keep doing and going through, figuring out, upgrading. It's insane. I can't recommend this game enough. Yes, of course, the pay to win, it's whatever. And what sucks about it is the marketplace is kind of bad. You can't exactly sell anything on here. Like, I find uniques all day, and I put them up and they don't sell. So it's a bit weird. You could just buy what you want if it is on sale. And they're really cheap always. 10 rubies is like 10 cents, like roughly, I think. Maybe less. This is the staff I need for my build. That's gonna be insanely powerful for my character. But I need to get this in conjunction with a certain belt that I just can't seem to find. Anyway, the belt I want turns my dagger throw into a Nova. There are ways of getting uniques easier and easier. The solo self-found farming in this game is actually really, really good because there's a system called item compendiums. And you just identify an item. If you don't want it, you throw it in there. And this will stash one of each item for you. It's like a stash, but not. What's cool about it is you get collection status, and that gives you drop chance and rarity and such. Now on top of that, you get some access to a guild, which you guys can go ahead and request to join. I don't play this game super often, because I'm always playing a bunch of different games. But if you want to join, you can donate, and if I hop on, I'll drop the guild buffs and add all the time possible. So guild buffs are interesting. You need to donate here. Could just be gold, and these guild seals, whatever, guild token. You do not ever donate rubies. It's a waste of your money, real life money. Do that, and then we can set up timers for item drop rarity, character XP on kill, and eventually we can even level up those. Or you can go and start your own guild for this exact same thing. I think that covers pretty much everything. Like, there's crafting and all kinds of stuff you can do in the game. It's not super groundbreaking. The only thing I think that is this right here. I love this because you can share support gems between like 3 skills, like so. See the links? So that's really cool. This system is awesome. And yes, you can unlock these. You just have to be able to get these. And these are a little tough to get. Much later game stuff. You only get one early on. And I slotted it in somewhere for a reason. And now I don't use that for that reason. So I just put this here. It's interesting. I think it's a lot of fun. I think if you like ARPGs at all and you want to like solo self-found playthrough one, I recommend this. You can just find all the gear you want. As you can see, I found a bunch of uniques. The game gives you access to a ton of like treasure and loot, all kinds of things. It's quite crazy. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys what a higher level character might look like. As you can see, you're going to be doing like billions of damage when you're level 100, and you're going to have gear that looks quite crazy. This is actually a pretty simplified piece of gear, but they can get way crazier. Like this, you know. Some ridiculous stuff you can do. See that? So, tons to upgrade and continue and build up. I think it's super cool how this works. And then when you reach level 100, you get Rune Master levels, so you can continue to level up. I haven't seen this yet in my current season, so that's why this tutorial thing's popping up. But yeah, that's another thing that you can do, and it looks super cool. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, this game is something. I highly recommend trying it out. This is pretty worth some time, I think. So, if you give it a shot, let me know what you think. If you end up playing it long term, right on. If you don't like something about it, cool, let me know in the comments. Nothing crazy hateful, just tell me what it was that you didn't like, and maybe the devs would see it and think about that. I doubt it, but you never know. Worth, putting out there for people to see. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm gonna go try out some game demos that came out. There's Archeron, which is really fun. That's gonna be a video soon, I think, if the lag stops. If you're interested, leave a like if you enjoyed this or found this at all useful to you, and maybe consider subscribing for more content in the future. And I'll get back to you with another video here soon. See you guys.